In an era dominated by digital technology, social media, and consumerism, the philosophical insights of Arthur Schopenhauer, once considered bleak and pessimistic, have gained renewed relevance. His central claim that human life is governed not by reason, but by the blind, irrational force of will, resonates powerfully in today's hyper-stimulated world. As the digital age accelerates the gratification of desires and the proliferation of superficiality, Schopenhauer's warnings about illusion, ignorance, and the erosion of intellectual depth seem prophetic. This thesis explores how Schopenhauer's philosophy illuminates the psychological and epistemological crises of the modern age, and how his proposed antidotes, art, nature, and contemplation, offer a path toward reclaiming human intelligence and dignity. The primacy of will over reason. Schopenhauer's metaphysical framework posits that the fundamental force driving human existence is not rational thought, but the will, a blind, insatiable energy that manifests in desires, impulses, and striving. Reason, in his view, is secondary. It merely rationalizes the will's demands after the fact. In the digital age, this dynamic is amplified. Social media platforms, advertising algorithms, and consumer culture are designed to stimulate desire, not reason. Notifications, likes, and endless scrolling feed the will's hunger for novelty, validation, and distraction. The intellect, rather than guiding behavior, is often hijacked to justify impulsive choices, tribal loyalties, and emotional reactions. This inversion of reason and will has profound consequences. It undermines the capacity for self-reflection, long-term thinking, and ethical deliberation. Instead of cultivating autonomy and wisdom, individuals become reactive, fragmented, and addicted to stimulation. The digital environment, far from being a neutral tool, becomes a mirror of Schopenhauer's metaphysical pessimism, a world where the will reigns supreme and reason is reduced to a servant of impulse. The digital veil of Maya. Schopenhauer borrowed the concept of the veil of Maya from Indian philosophy to describe the illusion that obscures true reality. For him, the phenomenal world is a deceptive appearance, concealing the deeper metaphysical truth of the will. In today's context, digital algorithms function as a new veil of Maya. They curate content based on engagement metrics, reinforcing biases and trapping users in echo chambers. Personalized feeds create illusions of knowledge and understanding, while shielding individuals from complexity, contradiction, and genuine diversity of thought. This algorithmic veil fosters a culture of superficiality. Appearances, likes, followers, viral trends replace substance. Instant gratification becomes the norm, while patience, depth, and wisdom are devalued. The digital self is curated for performance, not authenticity. The result is a society that prizes quick opinions over careful reasoning, multitasking over contemplation, and emotional spectacle over intellectual discipline. Tyranny of ignorance and epistemological narcissism. Schopenhauer was deeply skeptical of the democratization of knowledge. He warned that when opinions are treated as equal to expertise, a tyranny of ignorance emerges. In the digital age, this danger has materialized with alarming clarity. Social media platforms flatten epistemological hierarchies, allowing misinformation, conspiracy theories, and pseudoscience to flourish. The authority of evidence, scholarship, and critical inquiry is undermined by the cult of personal opinion. This leads to what can be called epistemological narcissism, a condition where individuals trust their own intuitions and beliefs over empirical data and expert consensus. The result is polarization, herd thinking, and intellectual fragmentation. Public discourse becomes a battleground of competing egos rather than a space for reasoned debate. The collapse of shared epistemic standards threatens the very possibility of truth, dialogue, and democratic deliberation. Infantilization and the decline of intellectual maturity. Modern culture, shaped by entertainment, consumerism, and digital media, encourages infantilization. Adults increasingly seek magical solutions, emotional validation, and dramatic narratives rather than mature engagement with complexity. This cultural shift aligns with Schopenhauer's critique of human irrationality and emotional vulnerability. The infantilized mind resists ambiguity, nuance, and discomfort, preferring simplistic answers and comforting illusions. Education, once a bastion of intellectual development, has not escaped this trend. The shift toward utilitarian job skills and market-driven curricula has marginalized the humanities, philosophy, and critical reflection. Students are trained to be ignorant specialists, technically proficient but intellectually shallow. The loss of liberal education erodes the capacity for ethical reasoning, historical understanding, and philosophical inquiry. Schopenhauer's vision of education as a path to wisdom is increasingly at odds with the instrumental logic of modern institutions, intellectual refuges, and the possibility of redemption. Despite this bleak landscape, the text identifies intellectual refuges where Schopenhauer's ideals endure. Universities, scientific communities, and serious art remain spaces where rigorous thinking, patience, and genuine diversity of thought are preserved. These enclaves resist the tyranny of ignorance and offer models of intellectual integrity. For Schopenhauer, art, nature, and contemplation are the highest forms of human experience, moments when the will falls silent and pure intelligence emerges. Aesthetic experience allows individuals to transcend desire and glimpse the eternal. Nature, in its sublime indifference, offers perspective and humility. Contemplation fosters depth, clarity, and self-awareness. These practices are not merely therapeutic, they are philosophical acts of resistance against the degradation of thought. Conclusion: Schopenhauer's relevance and the path forward. Arthur Schopenhauer's philosophy, once dismissed as overly pessimistic, now appears strikingly prescient. His insights into the irrationality of human nature, the dangers of illusion, and the fragility of reason resonate deeply in the digital age. The dominance of will over intellect, the rise of superficiality, the collapse of epistemic standards, and the infantilization of culture all reflect his warnings. Yet Schopenhauer also offers hope. By cultivating spaces of depth, genuine knowledge, and aesthetic experience, individuals can resist the collapse of intelligence and reclaim their humanity. The challenge is not merely technological, but philosophical: to restore the primacy of reason, to pierce the veil of illusion, and to nurture the contemplative mind. In doing so, we honor Schopenhauer's legacy, not by surrendering to despair, but by striving for wisdom in an age of noise. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.